Remember those ridiculous luxury items from the 80s that only rich kids had? Number 1. Apple Lisa. Remember when computers were more about showing off than actually computing? In 1983, one machine stood out as the ultimate rich kid flex, but its astronomical price tag came with a surprising catch. Enter the Apple Lisa, a groundbreaking personal computer that cost a jaw-dropping $10,000. That's right. For the price of a decent car, you could own a computer that was essentially a glorified paperweight. The Lisa was one of the first personal computers to feature a graphical user interface and a mouse, making it a true pioneer in tech. But here's the kicker. Despite its innovative features, the Lisa was about as useful as a chocolate teapot. It was prone to crashing, had limited software available, and was outperformed by much cheaper alternatives. So why did rich kids want it so badly? Simple. It was all about the bragging rights. Imagine the scene. Little Timmy from down the street invites his friends over to check out his family's new Apple Lisa. They gather around, oohing and aahing at the sleek design and fancy graphics. But when it comes time to actually do something with it, crickets. The irony of the Lisa's popularity was that it became a status symbol among the wealthy rather than a practical computing solution. It was the 80s equivalent of buying a sports car and never taking it out of the garage. But here's the thing. Despite its commercial failure, the Lisa wasn't just a flash in the pan. Number 2. Glass staircases. From cutting-edge computers to cutting-edge architecture, the 80s were full of impractical status symbols. But one home feature took the cake and nearly took a few tumbles along with it. Ever wonder what made rich kids' homes both jaw-dropping and nail-biting? Enter the glass staircase, a daring architectural choice that screamed money to burn and safety be damned. Picture this. You're visiting your wealthy friend's house, and there it is, a staircase that seems to float in midair, transparent steps creating an illusion of walking on nothing but air. It's a showstopper for sure, but as you approach, a mix of awe and anxiety sets in. Is it safe? Will it hold? And more importantly, why didn't you wear better socks? The visual effect was undeniably striking. These staircases added a sense of openness and lightness to homes, becoming instant conversation starters. Guests would ooh and ah at the futuristic design, imagining themselves as characters in a sci-fi movie. But the reality? Let's just say it wasn't always as smooth as the glass surface. Practicality? That's where things got slippery. Literally. Homeowners faced the constant battle against fingerprints and smudges, leading to what one might call a Windex addiction. And let's not forget the amusing mishaps. Stories of people sliding down in their socks or tiptoeing nervously became the stuff of legend, proving that sometimes luxury comes with a side of slapstick. Number 3. Intercom Systems. Speaking of slippery situations, rich kids had their own way of sliding into conversations. Remember those sci-fi movies where people talked through wall panels? Well, some lucky 80s kids lived that reality every day. But you won't believe what they actually used it for. Enter the Intercom System, the high-tech solution to family communication in sprawling homes. No more shouting up the stairs or across the yard. With just the push of a button, you could chat with anyone in the house. It was like having your own personal command center. These systems added a touch of James Bond glamour to everyday life. Imagine pressing a sleek wall panel and announcing, "Dinner's ready," in your best secret agent voice. But here's the kicker. Despite the fancy tech, the messages were usually as mundane as could be. Did you feed the dog? Can you bring me a soda? Not exactly top secret intel. But where there's new technology, there's always room for mischief. Rich kids often found hilarious ways to misuse their intercoms. One popular prank, ordering room service from unsuspecting parents. "Yes, I'd like a cheeseburger and fries delivered to the West Wing, please." Talk about living the high life. Number 4. Heart-shaped jacuzzis. Ever wonder why heart-shaped jacuzzis popped up in both mansions and cheap motels? These symbols of 80s excess have a story that's as bubbly as the water they held. The heart-shaped jacuzzi was the ultimate statement piece for wealthy homeowners, screaming opulence and indulgence. But here's the kicker. These romantic tubs made a surprisingly quick journey from high-end homes to budget motels. Picture this. You're checking into a motel, expecting the bare basics, and boom, there's a heart-shaped tub right in the middle of the room. It was like the 80s version of MTV Cribs had collided with Motel Impossible. These tubs were everywhere, turning ordinary bathrooms into what people thought were passion pits. But owning one of these love boats wasn't all bubbles and bliss. Maintaining a heart-shaped jacuzzi was often a nightmare. The unique shape made cleaning a real challenge. leading to some pretty hilarious stories from frustrated owners. "I thought I was buying a romantic getaway, not adopting a high-maintenance pet," one owner joked. And let's talk about practicality. Fitting 2 people comfortably in a heart-shaped tub? Well, that was about as easy as solving a Rubik's Cube underwater. It often led to awkward moments and plenty of laughter. "It's all fun and games until someone gets an elbow in the eye" became a common refrain among heart-shaped jacuzzi enthusiasts. Number 5. Neon light sculptures. If you thought heart-shaped jacuzzis were impractical, wait until you hear about the next big thing in 80s luxury. Picture this, a work of art that never sleeps, casting a perpetual glow over your living space. Neon light sculptures were the talk of the town, but they came with a surprising twist that left many homeowners seeing red and blue and green and pink. These vibrant installations transformed ordinary rooms into dazzling spectacles, making every night feel like a neon-soaked party. But here's the kicker. While they were perfect for setting the mood, they were less than ideal for, well, actually seeing things. Try reading a book or doing homework under the psychedelic glow of a giant neon palm tree. Spoiler alert, it wasn't easy. The real showstopper? The electricity bills. These glowing masterpieces were like having a small Las Vegas casino running in your living room 24/7. Parents would joke about needing sunglasses indoors, while kids reveled in the constant party atmosphere. "It's like living inside a lava lamp," one family quipped. But the social aspect, that's where these sculptures really shined. Dinner parties became electric affairs, with guests using the neon glow as an instant conversation starter. And sleeping? Well, that was an adventure all its own. Imagine trying to catch some Z's while a giant neon flamingo casts a pink glow over your bedroom. It was like trying to nap in a disco. Number 6. Central vacuum cleaners. While neon lights turned homes into discos, another luxury item promised to make cleaning a breeze. But what if your walls could do the vacuuming for you? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, for some wealthy families in the 80s, this futuristic dream became a reality, with some hilarious consequences. Enter the central vacuum system, the high-tech cleaning solution that screamed, "I'm too rich to push a vacuum." These systems allowed homeowners to simply plug a hose into wall ports scattered throughout the house, promising effortless cleaning without lugging around a heavy machine. It was like having an invisible maid at your beck and call. But as with many luxuries of the era, the reality often fell short of the dream. While the idea of vacuuming from the wall sounded great, it came with its own set of amusing challenges. Clogged pipes were a common headache, and more than one family found themselves fishing lost socks out of the system. It turns out that sucking up everything in sight isn't always the best cleaning strategy. The central vacuum also had an unexpected effect on the animal kingdom. Pets often reacted to the wall-eating monster sound with a mix of curiosity and terror. Imagine trying to clean while your cat is in full Halloween mode, back arched and fur standing on end. And let's not forget the kids who saw the system as an opportunity for science experiments. Suddenly, the question wasn't, "Where did I put the vacuum?" but "What did Tommy put in the wall this time?" Number 7. Novelty phones. While central vacuums were busy eating socks, another 80s status symbol was gobbling up space on bedside tables. Ever tried to have a serious conversation while cradling a cartoon cat? Welcome to the world of novelty phones. In the 1980s, rich kids weren't just making calls, they were making statements with phones shaped like hamburgers, cartoon characters, and other wacky designs. These quirky communication devices were the ultimate flex in a decade that celebrated individuality and excess. Imagine walking into your friend's room and seeing a giant Garfield lounging on their nightstand. But here's the catch. Using these phones was often as impractical as it was impressive. Try holding a hamburger phone to your ear without feeling ridiculous. It's harder than you'd think. The popularity of these phones wasn't just about function, it was about standing out. Kids wanted to express their personalities through every aspect of their lives, even their communication devices. But this desire for uniqueness often led to some pretty hilarious situations. Picture trying to have a heartfelt conversation with your crush while speaking into a plastic cheeseburger. Not exactly the smooth operator you were hoping to be. These novelty phones quickly became conversation pieces at parties, eliciting laughter and surprise from guests. But they also posed some unique challenges. Fitting these oversized devices on already cluttered nightstands was like playing a real-life game of Tetris. And let's not even get started on the number of miscommunications that occurred due to muffled voices speaking through plastic food items. Number 8. Basement bars. From plastic burgers to boozy basements, the 80s were all about pushing boundaries. But there was one luxury that had parents nervously peeking down the stairs and kids inventing creative excuses to visit their friends. Can you guess what turned ordinary basements into irresistible hangouts? Enter the basement bar, the ultimate entertainment hub for wealthy families in the 1980s. These mini nightclubs weren't just a place to grab a drink. They were the epicenter of teenage social life. Imagine walking down the stairs to find a fully stocked bar, complete with a pool table and a high-end sound system. It was like having your own private club right in your house. The allure of these basement bars was undeniable. Suddenly, every kid in the neighborhood was angling for an invite to the rich kid's house. It wasn't just about the amenities, it was about the atmosphere. Dim lighting, the latest music, and a sense of freedom made these spaces irresistible to teenagers looking for a taste of adult sophistication. Of course, parents weren't oblivious to the potential for mischief. Many tried to keep a watchful eye on these dens of temptation, leading to some amusing cat-and-mouse games. Kids became experts at coming up with creative excuses to spend time in the basement. We're just practicing our geometry on the pool table became a common refrain. Number 9. Round beds. If you thought sneaking into basement bars was tricky, imagine trying to make a bed that had no corners. The 80s brought us a luxurious sleep solution that looked amazing but left even the most skilled bed makers scratching their heads. Enter the round bed, the ultimate symbol of opulence and impracticality in 80s bedroom design. These circular slumber sanctuaries were the epitome of 80s excess, promising a unique sleeping experience and delivering a whole new set of challenges. Picture this: a plush, oversized disc dominating the bedroom, looking like something straight out of a futuristic movie set. It was the perfect conversation starter, but when it came to actually using it, that's where things got interesting. First off, let's talk about the sheets. Finding fitted sheets for a round bed was like trying to solve a geometric puzzle. Many owners found themselves wrestling with conventional rectangular sheets, creating a bunched-up mess that looked more shipwreck survivor than stylish sleeper. And don't even get us started on comforters and blankets. Suddenly, making the bed became an Olympic sport. But the real fun began when you actually tried to sleep in one of these circular wonders. Ever woken up completely disoriented, not knowing which way was up? Welcome to the round bed experience. Some people reported literally rolling out of bed in the middle of the night, giving a whole new meaning to falling asleep. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour through the wild and wacky world of 80s luxury items. From computers that cost as much as cars to beds that defied geometry, these status symbols captured the spirit of an era that wasn't afraid to go big, bold, and a little bit bonkers. Looking back, it's easy to chuckle at the impracticality of it all. But you know what? These over-the-top luxuries left their mark on our culture in ways we're still feeling today. They pushed the boundaries of design, technology, and what we thought was possible in our homes. Sure, we might not all want a neon flamingo in our living room now, but that creative spirit, it's alive and well in the gadgets and gizmos we love today. So, next time you're scrolling through the latest must-have tech or home decor, remember, today's cutting edge might just be tomorrow's fond, funny memory.